Hey guys, I'm RozaldVaneGAME and welcome back to another episode of Ruto Leta. I don't know why I said it like that, but I am sorry that that's what I thought of it as. But anyways, in the last episode, we basically finished out Chapter 3. We are now finally in Chapter 4. We read through the stationery, the letter, for the candy letter, I believe. It was talking about the... what did they call the guy? The candy man? I don't remember what the guy's name is. I think it was like something with the candy stuff, but I might be wrong though. Anyways, Tomoko I think is here to put our futon away. But I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. Ask her stuff? Sensitive to the supernatural. Tomoko, can you sense the supernatural?
ありますよ。実家が霊媒師なんです。
Really? Nani? You're kidding, right? I don't know why I say Nani sometimes. I feel like Nanda could also work too, but I never know the context. I'm still trying to learn the context of when to use what. Or it could just be like Hontone, I guess. Maybe. I might be wrong.
松江荘初代女将の幽霊と対談したこともあります。
Oh my god.
ちょうどそこに座っていらっしゃいます。
She's trying to spook our character. Ah!
冗談ですよ。
You have to stop that. Seriously. Alright, now let's ask about the princess, considering that we do need to know what the hell this story keeps being. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is probably one of those optional endings that end up being related to the ghost thing, but... who knows? It's gonna probably be that weird, annoying, like, splitting of stories of that sort. Do you know anyone who is knowledgeable about folklores and ghost stories?
その手の話なら、倉井霊一さんに聞くといいですよ。
Kurai Reichi? Reichi? What's he like?
ボサボサ髪で和服の怪しげなおじさんです。
Messy hair, traditional clothing. And, where do I go to find him?
定山公園をブラブラしてたら会えますよ。
Shiroyama Park. I know what the kanji for park is. I'm just curious if it's, like, pronounced as in, but I might be wrong. Shiroyama in? Yeah, I never really thought of it. I always knew the kanji of what the park looks like, the kanji for park, but I just never, like, got to a point where I used it in a sentence. So I probably might need to see that example later on. That's the park around Matsue Castle, right?
それじゃあ、お気をつけて。
I felt like she said, like... I'm trying to think, because Sureche, I think, is when they say, like, alright, off you go, kind of thing. Like, I felt like she said, alright, off you go, versus, like, that's correct, and be careful, but I don't know. I mean, either way. I mean, the English translation from Japanese to English is a little bit more trickier, I feel like, because I haven't delved into that kind of thing too much often. But I think about it in a way that's, like, how do people, like, try to emphasize, like, a few lines of Japanese to make it much more longer? And I've been seeing that lately. I recently started up Ni no Kuni, the first one on PC. And I've noticed that I was like, why is it so long when one of the expressions are just, like, a one, like, or two, 3 word phrase, like, I don't know, like, when it's saying, like, something that is not simple, they try to make it longer because they make it sound like it works for the character that way. But it's just like, to me, I'm like, why go through that length? You should shorten it just as much as they shorten their way of, like, saying it, because they want to keep it as simple and simplistic in dialogue. So it's like, sometimes I just wonder why they sometimes mix and matches or emphasize it further by extending the sentence longer with English. Anyways, that's my thought for what I think. Tomoko finishes putting away the futon and leaves the room. I'll go to Shiroyama Park while it's still light out. Alright, I guess we're just gonna head out. Heading out. Nothing much. So that becomes a place we can go to. I'm still wondering when we'll get to see the Neko, the cat, because there's an achievement for looking for the cat 10 times or something like that. But I haven't gone to that point yet. It's a big green park. Oh, this thing. I seen this this particular picture as one of the pictures they showcase at the on the Steam page of this game, the root letter Steam page. Matsue Castle is at the center of the park. The castle is a National Heritage Site. The corner central tower is covered in clapboard painted black. What? The tall central tower is covered in clapboard painted black. That is worded so weirdly to my brain. It's covered in clapboard that is painted black. The whole thing has a dignified, elegant feel. Nice scenery. Indeed. This is supposedly where I can find Kadai, but right now I only see tourists. Alright, let me check around a bit. Check the space that we got. I decided to look at the map. There's a tourist information center. I can ask there. Wait, it's hard for me to like. I feel a little jarred every time when they force me out of the space when I want to check out other stuff, but I never know if it will take you out of the place, and that kind of sucks. But I'll go inside the tourist information center. I bet the guy we're looking for is in here because it would make sense a little bit since if people are looking for the messy haired dude, he would be here technically, since it's the center of everything. They're selling souvenirs and books about Matsue Castle. Books are hon, right? It feels more like a little shop than an information center, but I'll try talking to an employee.
いらっしゃいませ。
Oh, it's just a normal person. Shame. I thought it was going to be the guy we're looking for. Recommended souvenir. What would make a good souvenir?
そうですね。島根っこキーホルダーがおすすめです。今とても人気なんですよ。
That keyring seems to be staring at me. I think I'll pass. Okay, ghost stories. Do you know any scary stories from around here? Sorry, I wanted to finish my coffee.
階段といえば、私大怪我したことがあるんですよ。ゴロゴロって転がり落ちて。
I'm not asking for scary experiences that you face. I'm talking about scary stories as in ghosts. That's not what I meant. Alright, let me check around the space. I realized I didn't get to do that just now. Yeah, pamphlets about Matsue and Shiroyama Park. Is that the same thing? They have booklets. Some booklets. Is that the inn or the shrine? There are some cool posters up here. What is this? It's a poster. It's a poster for Matsue. I don't know why there's an extra "an" in there, but I guess somebody might have messed up in their typing of that. Wait, what does it say? It says something else. For Enishizuku. Okay. Enishizuku. Huh? What is this? Looks like you pay for stuff here. Okay, the cashier register kind of thing. I'm sorry, I'm just looking to see if there's anything else beyond the same stuff. Oh, I see. The bottom bracket is more for the park. No? Okay, never mind. Alright, let's ask about the Reichi Kadai. Sumimasen.
はい。何かお探しですか？
Sheesh. Sorry. I was just like wiping down my leg due to the fact that I think there's mosquitoes in the house recently. I'm looking for Reichi Kadai. Reichi Kadai, do you know where he might be?
ここは観光案内所ですよ。
I mean, information is in your name for the center, right? So you gotta have some sort of information about anything and anyone that comes by. So, gomenasai. I might as well get something here.
縁結び水とかはどうですか?
And musubi water? What else do you have here?
この狐のお守りはどうですか?
I think
松江の狐は火事から守ってくれると言われとるんですよ。
That sounds like a plan. Just because somebody's house got burned in the beginning of the game? I get it. No, but I mean, what's funny is that I just saw a grammatical mistake again. And I read it without problems thinking about it. It's hilarious. The Firmino house was burned to the ground. I think I'd better get this. Exactly my point. This character knew. I'll take one.
ありがとうございます。
Why is it in parentheses? Why is it like this? I feel like acquired a term. I feel like a lot of the translation seems to get.
倉井礼一さんを探しとられるんでしたね。
Hi. Do you know where he is? Hi. どこですか? Or no, actually, I wouldn't say that either. I think it would be more of like, not the wa doko desu ka? Or it would be like something to know. So like, I don't know what the word for know is. It might be chi, because I think I've seen it as chi or some other things. But I think this is a verb, so it's not like, it's not actionable in a way that makes sense, I guess. But who knows? Yeah.
いつもは鎮守の森にいますよ。
Oh. Then we could have just started off with that. Why didn't you just say that? And then we would have still bought the stuff anyways. Arigatou gozaimasu. Grove of the Village Shrine. Huh. Worth a shot. Also, it's kind of weird to me because it's like, she said that, oh, this is a tourist information center. But then we buy something and she just shifts her attention around. I'm just like, why? Why do you just change your mind to just tell us these things like right then and there? It confuses me a little bit. The bridge. Shrine Forest Walk? I think that's where we need to go to. But let me go to the Shiroyama Park's entrance because I didn't even get to check everything though. There's some sort of building. What could it be? Okay. But yeah, I feel like some of the writing is like not being written, or like they're not reading it before submitting it to proper places. But I think that might have been rushing because there's so much to translate and so much to write out that it's like it's hard for them to catch everything. So I guess I would probably be fair to them a little bit here, considering that there's multiple chapters of endings. Or that there's a lot of chapters before they even reach that point is another like crazy thing. It's a stone wall. Okay, not surprising. Anything new to say about the map? They have a map of the entirety of Shiroyama Park, among other things. Okay, let's move again. We already went to the tourist info center, so we don't need to worry. I want to see what the bridge looks like though. Oh, this is the space where we were at last night in the game, I guess. These woods have a nice atmosphere. I can see the water side. The place has a nice atmosphere. Okay, I guess that's not that's not new. It's a wooden bridge. Thanks, game. Thanks for telling me so much information. It's so helpful. Oh, you can go inside the thing. Okay, you can go inside the tourist info center. Check. What is that? It looks like a guide map for the area around here. Okay. It says tourist information center. I see. I only can recognize this one right here. The X, where the center of the X is. I recognize this one. That's center. Like that's the kanji for center. This is kind of new to me still. I haven't seen it before. Yeah, I haven't seen any of the kanjis besides the center one, which is like, is it uchi, I think is the word? But I mean, there's also other meanings to that kanji that I don't remember from the top of my head what it would be called to use. I'm not done checking. I just don't know why I exited off. Vending machine. It's an ordinary vending machine. Is this a phone? Oh, I haven't seen a phone booth in so long. Like, in America, we've probably, like, removed all of them already at this point. But I think it's because of the fact that, like, people typically have phones themselves already. And usually, if somebody needs to call somebody, most of the time somebody would ask the person, like, random person, like, hey, do you have a phone? Can I borrow? I need to call my so-and-so to pick me up, or so-and-so to, like, ask them where they're at so I can go and visit them or take them. Something like that, I guess. Looks like I can enter the tourist info center from here. What a surprise. Okay, it's the same message. Anything else? I think we're good. Alright, let's move out of here then. To the walk. Forest walk. Ooh, this place looks pretty realistic to me a little bit. The new green leaves from the trees cover my view of the sky. This feels creepy. Better head to the grove. I mean, it's kind of crazy that some of these forests... Wait, I think I'm lost. It's kind of funny because some of these forests kind of feel like... I don't know, like I know there's a suicide forest that exists in Japan, so it's kind of crazy that they kind of have those there. Where is this? Keharu Cafe? Huh. I'm here anyway. Well, I'll take a break. There are a couple of tourists inside the shop. I ordered the Jonama sweet set, and they bring me matcha tea and fresh artistic handmade sweets with a motif based on the 4 seasons. Also, I don't know if you would say matcha tea. I just think you would call it green tea or just matcha, because matcha already has tea in the name. It's because cha is already tea in Asian language, so I don't know why you would make it redundant by saying matcha tea. I don't know, maybe it does exist, like people do call it matcha tea, which is green tea technically, but like, I just feel awkward because I just know that Chinese and Japanese and just the idea of matcha being cha, being like tea, is already in the sentence itself. Anyways, I eat the fresh sweets and drink the matcha tea. The fresh sweets are delectable and pairs well with the subtle bitterness of the matcha. See, like that, like you get to say the matcha and that's it. Matsue has quite an array of delicious things. A bushy-haired man in Japanese dress sits down next to me without making a sound.
怖い話をお聞きになりたいというのはあなたですか?
Oh, did somebody tell him about me? Are you Karai-san? Name certainly matches. Is this Karai?
怪談、奇談、都市伝説などを収集して無料でむやみに無断で語る倉井礼一と申します。
I like this. He's very secretive. This guy is giving me the chills just by being here.
この地に関する血も凍るような恐怖譚をお聞かせしましょう。
Oh, there's actually a tale of the region. No, wait, chotto. Wait, please wait. Chotto kudasai. Chotto mate kudasai. Please, no scary stories without discretion. I already know which one I want to hear anyway.
おや、これは早とちりしてしまいました。あなたの聞きたいこととは何でしょう?
Oh, okay. Well, let me check the area first before we do this. That looks like... Oh, that's such cute art. It makes me think of, like, Shintaro. Shintaro-chan, I think it was. Shiro-chan? Shinto-chan, I think? They have samples of their foods on display. They all look delicious. What is this? Are these artificial flowers? Potentially. Nearly every seat is filled. Looks like a popular place. This place is very loud, but it makes sense because of how the restaurant / place is very crowded. Is this the shop's menu? or it's this shop's menu. They have all kinds of Japanese confections. What does it say? It says something about the art of making Japan, or making Japanese confections. I see ko, which is like child kanji. Something ko, and then duzukuri no something. Yeah, I can't read all of it. I see ni right here, but I don't really know. To something. Nomae. I recently seen this one, but I don't remember what the pronunciation is. The second kanji right here. Alright, anyways. Let's ask him about the ghost stories of Oba High School. I don't really want to hear about the other stuff. I feel like it might be too redundant or like not interesting enough maybe, but who knows? What I want to know is the story about Oba High School.
あそこにもいくつか階段がありますよ。
Several? Oh my god. The one I want to hear is the story about the female student who died 25 years ago.
聞いたことを後悔しても知りませんよ。
I mean, fair point. You're trying to scare me, huh? I won't fall for that. Could I begin to speak in a voice as dark as his humor?
25年前、大場高校で一人の少女が亡くなった。
Damn
名
it.
前は文野綾。
Why? How do you know her name? Doesn't answer that question.
18歳で亡くなった綾の念はこの世に残った。翌年、彼女の親友が謎の死を遂げる。友人たちは綾が親友を呼んだと噂した。
Oh, that makes even weirder sense because it's like we're her best friend technically. It sounds like this ghost story is for real.
翌年、噂のクラスになった生徒の間で綾の呪いが話題になった。
But why the hell does it seem like this guy... Why did it seem like the main character just pretended that this story was false when even though it feels... When everybody literally knows it at this point. Everybody in this town knows it. I don't get why you would not believe it when so many people believes it themselves or knows that it's the name that comes from that tale. It just makes no sense. Some students are chatting.
まさか文野綾の追ったクラスになるとはな。
Oh, so people recognize it as a cursed classroom.
バカ！呼び捨てはまずいだろう。
そうよ。あの噂、事実らしいわよ。
それじゃあ私たちのクラスで誰かが死ぬの？
死にたくなかったら幽霊と友達にならんようにするんだ。
でも声をかけられたら終わりでしょ。呪いを止める方法はないかや。
学校に来らんことかな。
Huh.
そんなことしたら留年してしまうがん。
死ぬよりはいいけど、来年も同じクラスになったらどうするんだよ。
I mean, it makes sense if you try to remove the odds of getting caught up with the ghost in general. But at the same time, I also think that... I'm sorry, I'm trying to think, like, the story reminds me of Another, the anime series Another, where each student dies because they were in the cursed classroom from whatever years ago, many years ago. It's like, it's such an interesting concept, but I just feel like it's weird considering that it's similar to this style, but it's like, it's totally doesn't feel right because she wrote to us somehow still.
それは。
私、いい考えがあるの。誰かが文野綾の名前で文通するの。ペンフレンドを作ってあげるのよ。
Oh, that's so strange. I have an idea. Someone should start up a correspondence in Aya Femino's name. So somebody actually played as... So, is it the case that all the people that we were talking to were just each individual talking in her language, sort of, kind of way? And they just read it like they they read it to confirm how she should be writing, like in a style, and then they just sent it out to this particular individual, which is our character. That would be interesting that that's how it went, but I think that that's so weird though that they would lie about it. I don't get it.
なるほど。ペンフレンドも友人ってわけか。
彼女宛てにペンフレンドから手紙があったら彼女の霊は満足するでしょう。
でもそのペンフレンドはあの世に連れて行かれるんじゃないか？
So we're technically the sacrifice here. Our character is the sacrifice.
私たちには関係ないわ。
俺たちは自分を守っただけだ。
Okay, so that's why, because they want the pen pal to stay as far away from them because they're feeling like the curse will come after them.
でも住所はどうするの？
Do it at random.
それは心配いらない。俺の兄貴が郵便局に勤めてるんだ。文の綾宛ての手紙は家に転送してもらう。
Oh, I see.
私、文通相手を募集している人を探すわ。
I see. So they all made a plan to make it happen. But that's kind of weird though, to try to throw me off further. I feel like this story is a little bit makeshift. I feel like that is the case. Because nobody just randomly comes up with a plan and then tells it as a horror story. That makes zero sense. I'm listening to Kadai's story. Did the correspondence really happen? Kadai gives a big nod.
大場高校では文通の儀式が受け継がれ、今でも幽霊との文通をしている者がいるらしい。
Oh, so that group is still doing it, where they're just corresponding to random individuals, not just our character, but a bunch of other characters that they chose out of the many of the chances they get. But we are the only one that seemed to have responded in that light. But it's kind of weird because if they were doing this after her death, what did it take about 10 years later? Yeah, what did it take 10 years later for them to be like doing this thing? Like, if anything, that legend should have died out on its own. Like, nobody should have like continued doing that though. I don't get it.
いかがなされましたか？顔色が悪いようですが。
It must be your imagination. That's a scary story. I can't deal with this. My legs won't stop shaking. I'm getting goosebumps myself. We still got time. Let's ask a few more things before we continue into saving mode. Pen pal, I guess. What happens to the pen pals?
それは誰もわかりません。
For the most part, I just say that most of the pen pals live. I think that it's just a lie to just scare people away. At that moment, thunder rumbles in the skies above. Ugh!
あなた怖がりですね。
Thanks a lot. That story's just a bunch of lies anyway. It's fiction, isn't it?
こういう話は真偽を確かめない方がいいと言われています。
Screw you, old man. I don't know why the... I just realized something. Why is my main character scared when my main character was so ballsy about how he handles a bunch of people? I don't get it. You're just scared of thunder, but you're not scared of like hurting people's feelings. I guess this guy deserves it a
下手に
little
真
bit.
相を確かめようとすると最悪の事態になるそうです。
I don't believe this guy. Oh, come on. My mind has gone completely blank from hearing Kadai's story. When I come to, Kadai is gone. Hey, Kadai. I look around and spot Kadai walking outside the shop. When did he leave? When I try to leave the shop lady grabs my arm.
お代まだですよ。
Oh. Oh. So. I lost sight of Kadai while paying the bill. It looked like Kadai was headed down the street I came from. Back to the grove. I run over. There are still thick gray clouds covering the sky. This forest is dim and gives off a suspicious aura. That's weird. Where did Kadai go? I went after him right away. I looked around, but there's no sign of anyone. Oh well, I guess I'll go back to the Tourist Information Center for now. I lost sight of Kodai after all. That story about the curse has to be made up. I'm sure it's all just a lie. A fat man comes walking this way. Oh yeah, the fat man we need to meet with from one of the pen pal stuff. The stationaries. I know, I'll look for Fatty next. The fat man glares at me.
私に用事ですか?
I think this is the exact guy we're looking for. Yeah, nothing, sir. The man walks away. Fatty. Hang on, I think Monkey was saying something, but... what was it? Alright, so... I should end this episode now, considering that we did make it right into the 30-minute mark. So thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next episode of Nobody Minds, and hope you guys have a great, amazing day, week, and night, or whenever you're watching this. But I do not believe Kodai's story. I think part of it is true, but part of it is not true, I think, where the mystery of why those people, the pen pals that they send their letters to, like, don't have any words to say. But that's because they don't return back. They don't say anything about the... Those pen pals probably don't, like, send back, like, a message saying that I'm looking for you now, kind of thing. Instead, they're just kind of, like... Those pen pals probably chopped it up as nothing more than just a... imaginary person to talk to. But it's kind of weird to me that they're putting up such a facade, such a lie to just make that happen. But then you hear like the story about like 15 years ago the house of Aya's like father burns down, which made it even weirder. So I'm just kind of curious why. Maybe her ghost is real, and each person who wrote the story to yeah, I think that the letters, the stationery thing is not entirely true, the way that that Kodai was telling it. I think partially it's that Aya was personally the one who wrote those stories, but it's a cover-up for the fact that it was a cover-up that these other individuals were like trying to cover. No. Let me rephrase that. Those 8 individuals, I think it's 8 people. Those 8 people, all befriended Aya by accident, and they pretend to not know Aya that well because they know it's the ghost, but they accidentally, each one of them, befriended or kind of really got too close to Aya, to a point where Aya's ghost was still sending me message, but then they didn't. But then she never got a full like. She noticed the big picture, as the ghost was writing the letters to us, that we were just sort of like the scapegoat that the other 8 people were trying to throw up. So the 8 people kind of got super spooked that they had to go and burn down Aya's like family house down. And that's probably what happened to that fire, is that one of those 8 people burned that house down so that they think that they can put her to rest, kind of thing. But in actuality, it didn't put her to rest. Instead, it lived on in our sort of like embodiment, in a sense, like our character's embodiment of the character. So maybe that might be the case. Who knows? And we're just piecing it all together, and then once we do figure out the truth, she comes back to life somehow, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? It might be supernatural, or it might not be supernatural. We'll never know until we get to the end. But this is really making me curious what the hell's going to happen next. Otherwise, that's it for this episode. So thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one. We're in a video minds. Roz!